One thing that is always certain is that the city of Salem is always going to come together for a good cause. When it comes to the city, we all stick together, and that's something that I like to show people, because I know that there's a lot of stories where some people can be from, some tough communities, but it may not be as connected as ours. So I want to show people, like, hey, even though we may face certain circumstances, we come together as one when it's time. And I think that's something that needs to continue to spread, and that people need to know about the city of Salem.
I've joined the zoning and planning board, and I hear all the positive talk. There's so much positivity about what Salem's future is going to look like. And so I feel like there is so much developmental potential here within Salem. It just takes positivity from people to continue to want to move Salem forward.
Tucked along the Salem River sits a city with centuries behind it, and a new chapter just beginning. This is Salem, New Jersey, one of the oldest planned communities in America, founded on hope, resilience, and purpose. Today, that spirit is alive again, not in theory, but in motion, in homes being restored, in families planting roots, in leaders clearing the path forward. This is not a comeback story. This is a city on the rise.
So we're one of the few communities where I think that you can still purchase a family home at a reasonable dollar amount. Once the momentum starts, it continues. And there is a lot of momentum. In a couple of years, I think you're going to see a whole different Salem City. Overall, it's going to be a bustling place again. And we show off the city at every available opportunity. There's a lot of great things happening here. I watch people fishing on 8th Street where I live, where the boat dock is. We have the Yuletide Festival, and people come from miles around, come from North Jersey to see these historic homes. It's a beautiful area. It's really a beautiful town, and it'll be back on its feet again.
So currently, Salem is in the building stage. We have a lot of opportunities for investors. We have a lot of opportunities for residents. We have a lot of opportunities for small business owners. It's a thriving community. And like I said, it's an opportunity for you to get inside the community, get to know people in the community. It's a good place for people to come and really experience the small town feel. And that's important. You're going to get to know your neighbors. You're going to get to know the local guy down selling at the stores. You're going to get to be able to actually have conversations with your city council people. You get to know and be active in your community. This is a real good. You get to know your teachers and your school board. This is a good place for families to come and actually not only come, but come and raise your family and stay in Salem.
I'd say take a chance. It's a beautiful town, especially if you have a passion for historic homes or history. Mm-hmm. There's a plethora of it here. I think as you walk around the streets, there's so many beautiful houses that are available for purchase. And if you want to put down roots and have a forever home, it's a perfect town for it. We came here because we fell in love with the house that we found, and we've been happy ever since.
I agree.
Salem's history runs deep. In the earliest days of the country, the city thrived as a hub of trade, agriculture, and faith. Generations grew up here, built homes, raised families, passed down traditions. Some of those same families are still here today, and so is the pride. Like many small cities across America, Salem faced hard times. Industry changed, resources faded, disinvestment took its toll. But one thing never changed: Salem's sense of community. The roots held strong, waiting for the right moment to grow again.
Salem is in the middle of a renaissance. As I speak this the day I do, we have a new superintendent who's brought a new energy to the school district. We have playgrounds that are in the process of being upgraded. We have recreation programs that are being enhanced. We have nonprofit organizations working in collaboration with the city. for funding, for strategy. So this is a place, and I'm a parent myself, this is a place where children can be safe, they can learn, they can have fun. You can go over to Cowtown, you go fishing in the river, and every other amazing thing in this region is less than an hour away. I find Salem, New Jersey might be one of the most interesting cities in New Jersey right now. That's because as opportunity and serendipity may have it, there are a lot of really good things happening, all crunched into the same time. Of course, that means I don't sleep. I don't get much rest. But I like to say that when John Fenwick founded Salem, I don't know exactly how he did it, but I imagine him going up the Delaware River, and Salem is the most southern, great solid land where you can land, and it has a tributary, the Salem River, of the Delaware River. So this is a great location for economic development. I think that over the years, we have not always taken advantage of every opportunity that we can, but in this city being under from the federal government, state government, county government, and city government, there are Democrats and Republicans, there's rural and urban and suburban, there's people of different ethnicities and different religions that all want to be a part of what's going on great in the city of Salem. And as long as we work together, as long as we're strategic, as long as we have a long view of where we're headed, as long as we give our community confidence in who we are and what we're building, this is a great place to live, a great place to start a business, and a great place to invest in. And if you judge this city based off of the worst that's ever happened, you're going to miss a great opportunity. But if you look at this city with the perspective of what it could potentially become and decide to become a part of that, then you're going to become a part of something that's great.
The turning point didn't come with fanfare. It came with focus. Leaders, new and seasoned, began asking bigger questions. What could Salem be if we believed in it again? What if we invested in ourselves? That belief sparked action. Policy turned to planning. Planning turned to partnership. And the people of Salem began to see what was possible. This renaissance isn't led by outside forces. It's led by people who call Salem home. From City Hall to neighborhood blocks, this is a collective decision. A decision to rise.
What people don't know who are moving here for the first time, they don't know anything about Salem. Salem very much is a sports town. We have a lot of other great skills that come out of Salem, but very much a sports town. If you're not going to support the Rams, you might want to pick another town, you know. So it's kind of tough. I mean, our rival, you know, Salem, Woodstown, Salem, Penns Grove, it's a big deal. And it's a big deal for a lot of families who put forth that effort in making sure that their kids are engaged in the sports programs. So I would say do your homework, you know. If you were looking for, you know, every town has their issues, every town has their quieter neighborhoods, every town has their more, you know, busier neighborhoods. You know, when I was looking for a home, I wanted an area that had kids, because having kids myself, I didn't want them to be the only kids on the block. So, you know, let's say do your homework, do your research, and you know that this is definitely a place that can be called home.
Well, I'll tell the story about my mother-in-law only because I think it's what captures the spirit of the city. So she's, at that point, 85 years old. Okay, she decides if my son-in-law is going to work in Salem, I want to go down and see what Salem's about. She had never been down here. And she came down here and fell in love with the city, okay? She fell in love with the city, she fell in love with the people. She was greeted by the people in the ministerium, which is very prevalent here. A group of church leaders that do a lot for the city. And she just left here and came home and said, Ben, that's a great place. That's where you need to be.
Is like there's energy here to harness. There's a liveliness, and I think that is what's growing, and I want to see that grow to be the more prominent characteristic than resiliency, right? We don't always want to have to be tough through adversity. We just want to be vibrant with energy and brightness and, you know, and our creativity and social interactions. You want them to be vibrant, and that's here. Then that's something that I love about it. It's what I love about being down here.
We have relied upon the word hope. And lots of times when you look at that word hope, you think of, well, pie in the sky, or maybe, or should we have faith in that? But we've always defined in our family, and in my work at Ranch Hope, we define the word hope as an expectation of success. And that's the kind of hope that we have to have here. And that's the kind of hope that I know that I have, an expectation of the future success for Salem. What a great opportunity you have. Number one, we have the infrastructure in place. Many times when we look to growing our housing base and providing new opportunities, one of the greatest issues and expenses is the infrastructure. Do you have water? Do you have sewer? Do you have good streets? Do you have, are you within a few miles of getting to interstates and other opportunities outside of these neighborhoods? We have all that. So that's extremely positive. We have the guts of the history of beautiful neighborhoods that just need to be revitalized. And I know that when you say just, that's not a magic wand. That takes sweat equity, and it takes work. And it needs young families and future families believing in this neighborhood. And we want you to know you can believe in what's going to happen here.
I'm really excited to be here in Salem. If I were a young family looking for a community, you definitely want to make sure that the community is there, you know, in terms of your neighbors. But if you have children especially, you want to make sure that the school system is a system that's going to nurture your child and also educate your child. And not to brag on myself, not to brag on my staff, but I do believe that that's what you would find in Salem City Schools. This upcoming school year, we're focusing on two things: academic achievement of all of our students, and also the positive learning environment. We have new programming for our students where we're going to know exactly where students are in terms of their reading and their math levels. And we're going to have a toolbox delivered by their computing device, which is a computer or an iPhone, that will be specifically designed for that student to help them with lessons to accelerate their learning.
So when we were going to be moved, we were planning on moving to Georgia with my job. And when I was on the relocation list, and we had actually flown down to Georgia to look at a couple of houses, but we have a passion for historic homes. We love history and character and houses. So we just couldn't find it in Georgia where I was being relocated for work. And we were down about it, like, man, this really stinks. We can only find new builds. Everything's brand new, and it just doesn't have any any pizzazz or charm to the houses. So we weren't happy about it, but we just started looking around, and we had spent a couple months doing that and didn't find anything that we liked. And we lived over in Delaware at the time, and Corinne,
one day
literally.
I went on Google and I Googled historic homes near me, and our home popped up. We looked at the pictures, fell in love with it. We went to go view it. We put an offer in, it was accepted, and we moved here. We've been in love with it ever since.
Walk the streets today and you'll feel the change. Homes are being renovated. Parks are being restored. Businesses are opening doors. And with every step, the energy grows. New families are moving in, drawn by affordable housing and small town feel with big city proximity. Entrepreneurs see opportunity. Investors see value in the market rising from within. But this isn't just construction, it's reconstruction. Reconstruction of trust, of vision, of a future where success and inclusion go hand in hand. And it's happening block by block, family by family, business by business.
We have to make Salem what we want it to be. So we have to stay positive, and we have to bring people in that want that home, that small town feeling. I have friends that are customers actually that are also friends, because that's what our customers are, that have come from like Philadelphia and New York and everything else, and during COVID bought places here and are so happy with the feeling that comes in with this town, the love that people share in this town.
There's a lot of people in this community that give of their time and their efforts freely. And maybe it's just Miss Davis that pulls weeds on the sidewalk down on Broadway, or those who take care of the gardens in town, or the volunteers who come out and, we're getting ready to renovate the back room here at the firehouse, and our own free time and labor. And we hold fundraisers to fix up the building. So, it's not just look at me being a volunteer and what do I get out of it. No, it's about how can I leave it better than I found it.
I think a perfect Salem would look like a destination place, right? Where a place where everyone wants to come, whether it's just for food, whether it's for an activity, whether it's for a library, right? I see a place where it's transit, where people come in and out, there's constant traffic, because we have that much to offer, right? The people want to explore different restaurants or see history through in a very microcosm like lens. So I think the goal for Salem is to become a destination town where everyone wants to come and just explore, right? You don't have to live here. Even if you come just to see the beauty of it, that's enough for us.
This is a community-first resurgence. Here, revitalization means more than new buildings. It means accessible programs, youth mentorship, senior services, job pipelines, real opportunities for all. Salem's diversity isn't just an asset, it's the foundation. You'll see it in our schools, hear it in our churches, feel it at community festivals where everyone's story matters. We're not just preserving culture, we're amplifying it. With murals that tell our story, with music, food, and voices that echo across generations. Because Salem's future will be built by everyone, not just for a few.
I live in one of the older developments in town. We call it the Old Chestnut Terrace. And for the first time in many, many years, we have young families that are living there with kids, and it's great. They're riding their bikes, they're playing together. I would like to see that all over Salem, because I think it's a great town. It's where I chose to raise my family, and I think it's a great place. There's lots of things for people to do. Our library every Saturday has story hour for the really little kids, and they always read a book and they do a craft and have a snack. If we had an ideal Salem City, we would just have more of what we already have. There are a lot of really wonderful people that live in Salem City and have chosen to make it their home and have stayed for a number of years. And everybody contributes. Everyone does something to help the city, whether they volunteer for a city committee or volunteer for an event that's coming up or volunteer for Stand Up for Salem. There's tons of opportunity.
I see Salem as a place where everyone will want to come live for its small town environment. Salem has some really great neighborhoods. Bring your families, your children. Our school system is wonderful. Even after I stop teaching, I substitute because I love it so much. There's plenty to do if you keep up with local news. Our population is growing, and businesses can look forward to our local people and neighboring towns participating and patronizing their small business shops. We're close to the rail, we're close to Philly and Wilmington. We also have a port, so it's a lucrative place to be for businesses.
We're not too far away from anything. Philly's a 45-minute ride, and we just take the bridge if we wanted to go over into Delaware and do some shopping. And there is shopping around us. We love going to the local farms and buying meat here. We feel like it's definitely improved our food choices,
our quality of life,
quality of food here, because we are
eating
forced
local
to eat differently. But we're happy for it. We feel like we made a great choice.
So I'm very hopeful that new people coming in bring a new spirit with them. They bring new energy with them. I've looked at a lot of community development, and I remember talking to a woman in Pittsburgh about how Pittsburgh reinvented itself after the steel industry kind of closed, and there was a lot of tech, But what she said was a lot of new people came in. And at that time, it was a lot of immigrants, but she said they brought their culture with them. And when the groups moved in, then they opened stores and they opened businesses, and everything just kind of came to life. Because in her opinion, if that had not have happened, if new people hadn't have come in, everyone just would have aged out. Because young people were leaving, they weren't staying. She said we were just a city of much older people, and eventually that would have not just stagnated, but really killed the city. But because all these young people came in and from different places and different ethnicities, and they brought all that culture with them, they were really able to kind of turn the city around as well. And that's really what I hope for Salem. That's what I see for Salem.
I love antiques. You can see that from the house, okay? So my friend Dale's an antiques dealer, and we used to do little trips, you know, day trips. And one day, we'd get in the car and he says, we're going to Salem today. And I said, Salem, Massachusetts? You can't do that in a day. He says, no, we're going to Salem, New Jersey. And he said, it's an hour away. And he said, you're going to love it because it has a diverse amount of houses. I love to look at houses. I love to look at architecture. There was a lot of antique stores, and there's an antique diner. You're going to love it. So sure enough, we came to Salem. We went to the diner on the Broadway, the Oak Leaf Diner, had a nice meal. I loved it. And then we came up Market Street. And I love the houses on Market Street. And they happened to be taking the furniture out of this house. And the man says to me, it's going to go on the market. Would you like to see it? And we thought, sure. So my friend and I, we walked through this house. And I couldn't get it out of my mind. You know, so I went home and I told him about it, you know, and he was a bit intrigued. And I had met the neighbor next door also the same day, who also had the key. So we were talking back and forth. And long story short, we bought it. So it was sort of just serendipity. I wasn't looking for it, but it sort of fell in our lap.
And we fell in love with it, and the neighbors are fantastic.
Yeah, we have fantastic neighbors. On Market Street, we have every kind of religion, every kind of person, everything along here. You could knock on any door and get help if you needed it, anytime.
I just think it's it's poised for growth. And I think that if people come here and they contribute, they'll get out of it what they put into it.
Salem has a lot of pride. I think that's why you see your old school, your guys who, you know, even people who grew up and left town for careers or whatever, they still come back for the community events for that sense of pride.
This is your moment to be a part of something bigger. Whether you're a family searching for a place to grow, a business owner ready to build, or an investor with vision, the opportunity is here. Salem is open to ideas, open to innovation, open to those who see potential not just in what it is, but what it can be. The plans are in place, the people are ready, and the future is being written. And the only thing missing is you. This is Salem, New Jersey, rooted in legacy, rising with purpose, and ready for its next chapter. Come build with us. Come rise with us. Come home to Salem. If you could describe Salem in one word, what would it be?
If I can describe Salem in one word, it would be progress.
Historic.
Opportunity.
Home.
I'd say developing.
Home.
To describe Salem, I would say potential.
Prideful.
Potential.
It's restful.
I'd have to use two. I would say friendly and historic.
I want to say vibrant.
You know, Salem right now has a lot of promise. And if we can take that promise and turn it into progress, there's no way that anybody can stop us.